And what they're doing isn't making me racist, but I'm certainly resenting other races. Black people expelled every other race from Africa, and they've been jealous, trying to take advantage of the exploitation of Africans and their resources ever since. We are the least controlled group. Just look at prison. All the Asians are pretty much under one group. The Northern Hispanics under one group. The Southern Hispanics. The blacks are divided, extremely divided. Even where the Bay Area guys go, where you think the Panthers would have control or something, right? Or some kind of, there's the 415s, the BGF, the Crips, the Bloods. There's different groups. And no one has control over the blacks. And we are the most anti-government to the point where other races want to distance themselves from us because they don't want to get punished, So the way I see it, gang stalking is the average person from every race except for black people. The black people involved in gang stalking are informants from gangs and extreme house niggas. I mean, they look like your textbook house nigga, You look up house nigga on the internet, Google, go to images, This is the kind of person they look like. Some of these African house niggas in secret societies, some of these African American Boule, Prince Hall. I mean, they're very textbook Obama whitewashed house nigga. You understand me? And the only street cats they really have are your kind of typical snitches, your informants, which is unavoidable. And that's the difference, really. Black people are so anti-government that's how it plays out. But with every other race, it's just your average white guy, your average Hispanic, your average Asian, and so on. It's your average. So the only group that really comes close is the Muslims. So we live in an age where black people and Muslims bitterly, well, not all of them, but a good percent of them bitterly hate the government. And then all these other people, they might resent the government. They don't hate them with a passion, and they conform. They absolutely conform. They're very whitewashed. When you look at who's conforming and who's not, let's be honest now. Black people are the least conformist, especially black Muslims. And then Muslims, okay, they're wearing their hijab. They're, growing their beard out, Generally speaking, that's how it is. And everyone else is a fucking coward. I mean, come on, think about it. I mean, make a comment, but I'm right. I'm right. There's the average fucking white fucking conformist, skater, jock, nerd. They're all conformists. The model minority Asians, conformists, so on and so forth. I mean, I'm right. Hispanics, some of them want to be rebellious, but they're all controlled. The gangs are controlled. The average guy, then there's the farmhands. They all do what the white man wants, like a farmhand. They're all conformists. There's a lot of Hispanic cops that are kissing ass like an Uncle Tom cop or something, trying to get in good with the white people and trying to fit in. That's how it is, man. I don't like it, but this is how it is. Even the Native Americans, where I'm inclined to have love for them, but they're conformists also. They're a bunch of feds, cops, white people with, who are like 10% native. That's who they are now. Maybe long ago, there was Geronimo and a handful of people that rebelled with him. Philip's War and a handful of people that rebelled with him. But now, conformists across the fucking board. And this is where we are now in history. It's like the government versus the percentage of blacks who don't want to conform, the percentage of Muslims who don't want to conform, and then there's controlled blacks and Muslims doing a controlled kind of, terrorist movement or something, and then there's controlled whites who get carried away doing that as well. The Oklahoma bomber type guys, who are from a control group, and they were basically told. They probably didn't know they were from a conformed group. They're basically told to do these terrorist acts, or they're government informants whose own government turned on them. Just like Lee Harvey Oswald. So when it comes to real uncontrolled opposition, let's face it, You know, if they successfully do this to black people like me and to Muslims, then there will be no uncontrolled opposition anymore. It will all be controlled across the board. And it's sad because every time I talk to people, that's what I see. I see a bunch of shady federal looking white guys trying to pretend they're down. And I see some real Muslims and some fake, police officer type Muslims. And, these are the types of people I see in the group. All these people, they're all controlled. They're all informants and snitches. And then there's a few Muslims and black people who have been attracted to the group who the group is designed to target. That's what's going on now, with the psych ops and, and all this stuff. Now that I've covered that, let me give you the top 5 reasons why one must hate women as a revolutionary. And I was correct to make my oath. Keep in mind, I despise the LGBT community more. Number 1, women are the more conformist sex. They're more suggestible and susceptible to social pressures. This is particularly repugnant in contemporary society. Number 2, they have bad judgment. And they expect you to respect their judgment when they are weak emotionally and otherwise. That will get in your way a lot more than you think. Number 3, feminism. Feminism is rampant in our society. Everywhere you look, there's feminist scum. Number 4. Well, going back to number 3, there's a lot of baby killing. They break down the family. They have stupid ideas of witchcraft and bearded ladies and armpit hair and leg hair, and they're, it's just disgusting. Feminism opens the door to a whole bunch of depravity and debauchery and stupidity. Number 4, they have shunned me my whole life while sleeping with my enemies. And they will cite stupid shit like this video way after the fact. When not only it's after the fact, but I'm right about everything I've said in this video. I'm dead on. Countless men and scholars who are being honest, who are uncontrolled, will tell you that. And last, but annoying as well, is the circles of overweight / plus size women who have aligned themselves to feminism and who plot to take advantage of handsome, less than rich men, especially if they are targets. Thank you.